Hey everyone, in this video we are going to learn how to create application load balancer ALB in AWS. So let's go to AWS console and click on EC2. And we need to click on instances. And first thing we need to create a couple of instances. So I'm going to click on launch instances. And here we need to write the name of the instance. Let's say my first instance, and we'll change the second instance after we launch. So for application and OS images, we can leave as a default Amazon Linux, which is provided by AWS, and we can leave all the default configuration like instance type, architecture. For keep here, we don't need SSH capability. That's why we are going to click on this keep here and proceed without keep here. So for network settings, we need to select existing security group, and we need to click on launch wizard 1. For configure storage, we can leave 8 GB and GP3. And for advanced details, we need to go here and come to user data and use some code, some script. So I'm going to go to my GitHub page and click on this code. So I will mention the link of this GitHub in the description, so you can come and copy the code. All right, so let me go back and here paste the code. So after that, we are going to change the number of instances. So we want 2 instances as an example. So let's click on launch instance, and let's click on view all instances. Here, as you can see, we have 2 instances, and now we are going to change the second one to my second instance. Let's click on save. And now, as you can see, it's in state mode, in pending state. So we need to refresh this a couple of times, and then you will see the status check passed. So until that, we need to wait. And as you can see now, it's changed from pending to running state. So if we click on my first instance, you will see lots of details like instance ID, public IPv4 address. So we are going to copy that. And in a new tab, I'm going to paste here. And you can see the hello world from my instance. And now I'm going to click on my second instance and copy the public IPv4 address in another new tab. And in fact, if I click that, you can also see the same message, hello world from from the host name, from the instance. And if I see that 2 instance URLs, you can see everything is same, hello world, but the only thing is the last line is changing. You can see the instance, the host name. So what we want the one URL that shows the same message that balance the loads between these 2 instances. Okay, so for that we need application load balancer. For that we need the load balancing. So let's click on load balancers, and here we are going to create a load balancer. And as you can see, there are different types of load balancers like application load balancer, network load balancer, and gateway load balancer. So application load balancer is where you configure HTTP and HTTPS, which is ALB, and NLB is a TCP, UDP, TLS. And lastly, the GWLB is as you can see, it's a gateway load balancer when you need to deploy and manage fleet of third-party virtual appliances that supports Geneva. So in this video, we are going to configure and proceed with application load balancer. So let me click on create. And here we need to give the name, let's say demo ALB. Demo application load balancer. So we can leave the scam internet facing, and for address, for IP address type, we can leave IPv4. For network mapping, we are going to select all the available zones. I'm going to click on all checkbox. Next is listeners and routing. Here we are going to create a target group. As you can see, the protocol is HTTP, port is 80. So here we are going to create a target group. Target group is nothing but the group of instances. So let me click on that, create a target group. And we want the group of instances here. And we need to give the target group name. Let's say my target group instances, for example. And here, as you can see, it's a protocol HTTP and port 80. So we can leave the protocol version as HTTP 1. For health check, you can leave as it is. And now let's click on next. And here we need to select all the instances here, my first instance and my second instance. And I'm going to include as pending below. And here simply I'm going to create a target group. And as you can see, we have just created my target groups, and I'm going to go back, and here I'm going to refresh this button. And if I click on this target group, you can see my TG instances, my target group instances. So now I'm going to go to the next configuration, which is add-on services. We can leave it as it is. The second one is load balancer tags. You can also leave as a default. And simply we can go and proceed with create a load balancer. And let's click on view load balancer. And this will create, as you can see, DNS name. And now it's in provisioning state. So we need to give it some time until it's available, until it's running. So let's click on refresh and wait a bit. In active mode, so we are going to click on this demo ALB, and you can see here the lots of details. So but we want to copy the DNS name and paste it in a new tab. We copy a new tab, and as you can see, now we can see the same message, hello world, from the instance. You can see the IP address, the host name, you can see. So if I click on this refresh button, you will see that it's changing the instances here in one URL. And this is the magic of application load balancer. This is a magic of load balancing. So before, as you can see, we were like creating a separate URL, and then we were seeing the hello world message. But now here we can see only one URL with different instance, you can see. So this is all about it for this video. This is how you can create an application load balancer ALB in AWS. Thank you very much. If you liked the video, please don't forget to subscribe in this channel and like the videos. I will see you in the next lecture.